From North America's dense forest to the Himalayas' isolated highlands, stories of strange creatures that lurk just beyond the veil of our understanding have been passed down through generations. These cryptids, based between the realms of myth and reality, are a tapestry woven from the fears, folklore, and whispers of our cultures worldwide. Are these beasts mere legends born of superstition, or do they hide in the dark corners of our world, waiting for the moment they are finally revealed? The hunt for answers begins. But remember, some things are better left undisturbed. Welcome to Myth and Lores, a journey into the dark and divine. Without further ado, let's jump into another lore. The Loch Ness Monster, often referred to as Nessie, is one of the world's most enduring and enigmatic cryptids. Its dark lore has fascinated and terrified people for centuries, with its origins steeped in myth, superstition, and mysterious sightings. Here's a look at the darkest side of the Loch Ness Monster and where its origins might lie. The Loch Ness Monster story stretches back far before the famous sightings of the 20th century. The legend's origin likely intertwined with the ancient Celtic myths and the region's pre-Christian beliefs. One of the earliest references to a creature resembling the Loch Ness Monster comes from Celtic folklore, particularly the myth of the Kelpie or the water horse, a shape-shifting creature that lived in lochs and rivers. Kelpies were said to appear as horses but could change into terrifying sea serpents, luring people to their watery doom. The concept of a serpent-like creature living in Loch Ness likely arose from these ancient stories, with the Kelpie myth adding an element of malevolence and danger. The Picts, an ancient people who inhabited Scotland before the arrival of the Scots, also had an affinity for water-based mythologies. Carvings and stones found in Scotland show images of serpent-like creatures, which some suggest could be early representations of what would later become Nessie. Being a seafaring and warrior culture, the Picts could have passed down stories of terrifying creatures lurking beneath the surface of lochs and rivers. One of the earliest recorded stories involving a creature in Loch Ness comes from the 6th century and involves Saint Columba, the Irish missionary who traveled to Scotland to spread Christianity. According to the life of Saint Columba, written by Adoniman of Iona, the saint and his followers traveled along the River Ness and encountered a water beast that attacked a man swimming in the river. Columba is said to have ordered the creature to go back in the name of God, and it immediately retreated. This story intertwines the Loch Ness Monster with both local superstition and the arrival of Christianity, representing the triumph of faith over dark, pagan forces. In the following centuries, tales of strange creatures in Loch Ness continued to evolve, though they were often dismissed as mere superstition or exaggerated folklore. It wasn't until the early 20th century that Nessie would become a global phenomenon. The modern legend of Loch Ness Monster began in 1933, when a new road was built along Loch Ness, allowing more people to visit the area. Soon after, sightings of a large creature in the loch flooded the press. The most famous was a surgeon's photograph in 1934, which purportedly showed a long-necked creature in the waters. Despite being widely debunked as a hoax, this photo cemented Nessie's place in popular culture. Nessie's image evolved from a harmless curiosity to something more sinister. Some stories claim that the Loch Ness Monster is a guardian of ancient, hidden treasures, perhaps remnants of pre-Christian civilization or artifacts from a forgotten age. Others describe Nessie as a vengeful spirit that attacks those who venture too close to his domain, especially those who disturb the waters or disrespect the ancient land. Theories about the Loch Ness Monster's origin are also varied and mysterious as the creature itself. Some suggest that Nessie is a prehistoric survivor, a remnant of the dinosaur age, while others see her as something darker and more supernatural. One of the most popular theories is that the Nessie is a surviving plesiosaur, a marine reptile that lived millions of years ago. The idea is that the loch, an ancient body of water, could have sheltered these creatures long after the age of the dinosaurs. However, no definitive evidence has ever been found to support this theory. In darker and more mystical interpretations, Nessie is seen not as a mere animal, but as a guardian spirit or elemental force tied to the loch. According to some occult beliefs, the Loch Ness Monster could be a manifestation of an ancient water deity or relentless spirit cursed to haunt the waters for eternity. These theories often suggest that Nessie may have been summoned through ancient rituals, or perhaps represents the vengeful soul of a person or civilization wronged in a distant past. Some French theories suggest that the Loch Ness Monster is not a creature from Earth, but an entity from another dimension, appearing and disappearing as it crosses between worlds. This story aligns with the idea that cryptids are interdimensional travelers existing in a space outside our understanding of reality. With its deep waters and mysterious atmosphere, Loch Ness is seen as a portal through which the creature can slip in and out. A more modern theory posits that Nessie is a creation of extraterrestrial forces, either a bioengineered species or an alien creature left behind on Earth to observe or protect something. This theory has been bolstered by occasional reports of UFO sightings in Loch Ness area, with some believing that the creature is part of an alien experiment or surveillance program. The Loch Ness Monster is not only a cryptid, but also a symbol of something deeper and darker. With its vast, murky waters and the surrounding mist-covered hills, Loch Ness is a place of eerie mystery. The idea of a creature lurking in its depths taps into primal fears, the fear of the unknown and the fear of what may be hidden beneath the surface, and the fear of nature's uncontrollable power. Nessie represents the shadowy forces of the natural world, entities that are not fully understood or easily controlled. The creature's elusiveness, combined with its occasional burst of violence or malevolence in folklore, symbolizes humanity's vulnerability and our inability to tame nature entirely. In this light, Nessie is not merely a creature of mystery, but a reminder of the darker forces at work in the world, forces that are often beyond human comprehension and control. The dark lore of the Loch Ness Monster blends ancient myth, Celtic folklore, and modern mystery to create a figure that is haunting as it is fascinating. Whether as a prehistoric survivor, a supernatural guardian, or an alien interloper, Nessie remains a symbol of the unknown, a creature that haunts the deep waters of Loch Ness and our collective imagination. The darkness surrounding the Loch Ness Monster is not just in the creature itself, but in what it represents. The boundaries of the known world, the terror of the unexplained, and the eternal allure of what lies beneath the surface. That concludes this lore. If you like what you heard, please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next lore. Bye.